Okay, guys. So today, what I'm going to tell you about is different phases of hacking. So what we're going to focus on is the first step today. So the first step of a hack. So when a hacker starts to the process of hacking, they go through this phase, which is reconnaissance. So on the screen here, you can see the different phases. So reconnaissance is the first step. So this is basically where a hacker wants to get all the information that they can on the target. So they will look at their background, they might look at their which kind of computer they're using, which operating system, any programming languages that they use in their websites, social media accounts, everything like this. So they'll write a full essay or report and put all of that information together. So that's what they'll do to gain a lot of information before they start the hack. So that's the first stage. The second stage, they're going to scan the whole network. So once they've found out about what kind of technology they use, maybe their social media accounts, then they're going to start scanning that. The next phase then, once they've scanned everything, then they're going to start trying to gain access. So they'll scan, see if anything is vulnerable, so they can then gain access. The next step they want to do is maintain access, so that once they've found a vulnerability and they've got inside, then they're going to try and maintain that access so the user doesn't block them. So there's lots of things you can do there. And then the last thing, if they want to get out, so they've got out, and now they don't want to be tracked. So what they've got to do is that last step you can see there. So down here is clearing the tracks. So they want to make sure that nobody can find them. So clearing tracks is like the last step that they do. So what I'm going to do now is show you some reconnaissance. Okay, so what does that look like? So there are different tools that hackers use, and for reconnaissance, there's one which you can look for a person's identification tag, so their name or maybe a username that they've used on Instagram or any other platform, and then you'll be able to scan the whole internet using this tool and bring back any other social media accounts that they may have. The reason why you do this is maybe they've got some location or some data, some information on themselves that is exposed on one of these websites. So, as a hacker, what you need to do, you need to think about: have they got anything exposed? Are they vulnerable in any way? Can I use that information against them? That is what the hacker kind of way is. So in the reconnaissance phase, you're looking for all these different bits of information. So later on, you can exploit that. So what I'm going to show you here is, so on here, if I just clear my terminal, clear that, what I can do here is use this tool, which is called Sherlock. So basically, Sherlock is a tool that will search the whole of the internet for different social media accounts that the person might be using. So it'll pick up if there's anything on Instagram, on Facebook. So you'll see a working example of this in a minute. What we're going to use is this GitHub site. So GitHub is like a storage place for lots of different code. So what I can do, if I show you in my terminal here, on my computer, what I'm going to do is use the commands that are given on this page. So here's the Sherlock. Here's what it should look like on the program. So what you're going to need to do is have Python 3 installed already. Okay, if you're struggling with that, make a comment down below, and we can do a separate video. But basically, what you want to do is use this. So we're going to clone the code from here in this Git repository. So clone is basically like make a copy of on my site. So if you're on a Mac, you can go over here, and then I'm just going to paste that in. So basically, so it already exists because I've already downloaded it. If I show you, I can go back maybe, and then I'll make a new folder. So you won't have to do this if you're doing this for the first time. But I'm just going to put test there. So if I go into test, then I can use that command. So I'm going to paste this in. This was the command that's on the screen. Okay, so you won't have any problems with this if it's the first time. So I'm going to press enter, and that is going to clone into that folder that I've created. So basically, all of the code that this developer has worked on, okay, it is going into that test folder. So that is there ready to use. Then what I want to do, I want to go into that file. So cd is basically means go into the file. Sherlock. So Sherlock is the file I'm going into. Okay, can you see that's there? So Sherlock's I've gone into there. Okay, then I need to install the requirements. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this over as you would, like this, and paste it in. So now that is going to upload all the requirements for that piece of code. Okay, got some warnings there, but no problem. So if I just clear my screen, okay, and then how do you use this? So everything's on the GitHub page. You go usage and then Python 3 Sherlock. Okay, so I've done, if I do that, Python, I've got Python 3 installed, and then Sherlock. Okay, I can do the help, but I already know that you can read this, but I already know the way you use this is you type in Python 3 Sherlock, and then the name or the tag or the account name that you want to try and find all over the internet. So, for example, if I chose the band Oasis, okay, because I'm from Manchester, if we want to look where Oasis is all over the internet, where their different accounts attached to them are, then we can type in Oasis. Okay, so that's the key term that I'm giving. All right, if I press enter, then this is going to run, and it basically runs a script. So a script is some code that somebody else has written, and that is going to run. Can you see that running there? So what it's doing, every site that is in the script is telling it to go and check there. So if you look at that, you've got the Facebook one that's come back. So we can copy that. Okay, and there's a Fortnite tracker. So if you've got someone who's using the same tag or the same name over and over again, it's going to find where they are on the internet. Okay, so you can use that in your reconnaissance of your target. So if I go here and then paste that in, for Oasis, that's going to come back with their Facebook account. Okay. So what I've been able to do is use the Oasis keyword or phrase, and I've been able to find them on Twitter. Okay, so that's the Twitter for Oasis, and there are a lot of different accounts with the name Oasis in, which you can see here. So that is what you would do. That's one tool that a hacker can use to basically search the whole internet for the username Oasis. Now, what I suggest is that for your unique username or hashtag that you use, you can search the internet and see where you come up, okay? Or you could search for somebody else's that you're trying to find, and you can find multiple accounts for those people, okay? So you can see where they're vulnerable, you can see where yourself is vulnerable, and basically that's just a tool you can play around with very easily. All right. Hopefully you found that useful. Let me know if you need anything, and yeah, enjoy.